Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and a very good morning to all of you. Just a second, let me send that link to my fellows, and then we will start, inshallah. Okay, I think it's done. Yep, let's just start. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Spaced retrieval practice. How to build a brick wall of learning. So, to recap, the more you learn, practice and sleep, the more you grow new dendritic spine and synaptic links, stronger links plus more links. Wow, what a powerful learning structure. Good learning structure are like solid brick walls. They grow bit by bit, getting stronger all the time. If you spend some time learning a particular item each day for several days, it allows you to get several periods of sleep. This gives more times for new synaptic links to grow and helps the new learning to really take hold. The neural pathway gets trampled on again and again by your mental mouse, which continues running at night while you sleep. Mice tend to be nighttime creature, remember. Practice makes permanent, or at least a lot stronger. So if you let the mortar dry between layers of brick by sleeping, you build a solid neural foundation, right? That's the wall on top. If you don't let the layers dry and cram your building learning into one day, the wall becomes a jumbled mess like it is here. This is also what can happen to your learning if you put everything off the last minute. Okay, just a second. Alaykum assalam wa rahmatullah. Good evening. Right. So cramming means procrastinating, like susti karna, and doing your study at the last minute. Now you can see why cramming is a bad idea. Leave your work to the last minute and you have less time to repeat and fewer nights of sleep to grow new synapses. So you won't recall the details well. There is also less time to connect your new ideas to other ideas. Some students do reverse procrastination. If they are assigned a homework problem that is due on Friday, for example, they might do entire homework set on Monday so it's done and out of the way. Reverse procrastination is great, but it's nice to supplement it by a little bit of review here and there before you turn the assignment in, just to give your brain a chance to strengthen the connections. Okay. This re-emphasizes the fact that when you learn something new, you want to revisit it soon before the dendritic spine and synaptic links begin fading. If the dendritic spine and synaptic links fade away, you have to start all over in the learning process. Build on what you have already learned. Look over your notes, explain them to a friend, make flashcards. You can check them less often as you become better at retrieving the information. Brief practice sessions over a number of days are better for storing information in memory than one long practice session. Remember, don't just look at the answer. Pull it from your mind, the active recall technique, only checking the answer if you absolutely have to. This active pulling from your mind is what spurs the growth of new dendritic spine. Just looking at the answer doesn't help. See the idea. So if you keep practicing each day with new ideas, right, your set of brain links grows thicker and stronger as it here. Here's an example. A girl is learning some new words about the names of different parts of the brain. As you can see from the calendar on page 82, she learns the new words on Saturday and she doesn't know them very well. She practices recalling those words on Sunday and Monday. The links starts to get stronger. After 3 days in a row, the new learning is taking hold, so she can have a day off, but the new word links are not fixed in there yet. By Tuesday night, the new learning is just beginning to fade a little. Another visit on Wednesday firms things up. One more check-in on Friday makes sure that the traces of those words in the brain are really clear. She will be in great shape for the test on Monday, right? So recall is one of the most effective ways to boost your learning. Another person tries to do all their learnings on the Monday morning before the test. Even if they throw several hours into it, they won't have had any sleep after their learning to let the new synapses begin to form. The pathways won't begin to grow until the person goes to sleep on Monday night. Unfortunately, that's after the test too late. The synaptic janitor soon cleans away the weak patterns. They lose. Even worse, after cramming for a test, it's easy to think I'm not going to use this stuff, so you don't practice with it. When you don't practice something you have only just learned, it makes it easy for your synaptic vacuum cleaners to sneak through your brain and suck away those new dendritic spine. The new links you were trying to develop end up disappearing, right? So he is eating and he is just taking it away, all this dendritic spines. If you don't practice with the new ideas you are learning, your synaptic sweep will sweep and even vacuum them away. So that is an important idea to keep in mind here. Some people need more practice and repetition to get a concept than others. That's perfectly okay. For example, I often have to practice much more than other people. That's only way I can learn the information. My co-author Teddy, and on the other hand, picks up new ideas and concepts much more quickly. Our third co-author all learns some things quickly and others slowly. But even though each of us learns in different ways and at different speeds, each of us has had something good to contribute to the world of learning. So don't feel bad if it takes you longer to learn things than your friends. You can still learn the information just as well, right? Sometimes even better. If you are learning slowly, you can learn better than others. You may have a lot of subjects you have got to study and you can keep on top of. That's okay. Each time you take up a subject to study, give it your full attention while you are studying it. Don't think about the other things you have to do. When you pick up your work for the next subject, give it your full attention. Having to keep up with a lot of very different topics may sometimes seem difficult, but it helps keep you mentally flexible. You can create new set of brain links and practice using them with lots of different subjects each day. Your brain has a galaxy of room inside. You can never even come close to filling it with new ideas and facts, no matter how hard you try. Time to move on. In the next chapter, we are going to learn about your brain's attentional octopus. So here it is. Pause and recall. When you are next with the family member, friend, or classmate, try this active recall exercise. Tell them about the most important points of what you are learning from this book or from a class you are taking. Teaching a new idea makes you think about it in new ways. Retelling allows others to become excited about learning too. It also builds stronger brain links in your mind, so you will remember them better in the weeks and months to come. Even if what you are studying is complicated, simplifying so you can explain to others can build your understanding. Now you try. Repeat your learning after you have slept on it. Right. Next time you are learning something new that's a little difficult, try this experiment. Practice several times during the first day and see if you can pull the new learning to mind after you have studied it. It's kind of hard to do, isn't it? Now, sleep on it and try a few times to pull the new ideas to mind the next day. Do you notice how much easier things start to become? If you try for several days in a row, you will soon notice how much easier it is to think about the new ideas. You will be able to pull them quickly to mind when you need to. Summing it up. Now, new dendritic spine and synapses begin to form when you start learning new information. But the dendritic spines and synapses really develop after your focused learning session while you are sleeping that night. Sleep provides the mortar that solidifies the walls of your learning. Dendritic spines and synapses develop even further when you continue to practice what you are learning. The more you send a thought around your neural pathways, the more permanent it becomes. That's how sets of brain links are made. Don't cram. Space out your learning over several days. That way you will have more nights of sleep for more dendritic spine and synapses to grow. Your lesson will sink it. We all learn at different speeds. Don't feel bad if someone else is quicker than you. That's life. Just put in a little more time. You will also soon discover that being a slow learner can give you special advantages. Check your understanding. Number 1. Why is sleep important when it comes to learning? How are dendritic spine like lie detectors? What happens to a synapse when you practice a new idea? Why is it good? Why is it good to space out your learning? Explain the brick wall metaphor out loud to yourself or to a friend. What one thing will you do differently after reading this chapter? When you are done, you can compare your answer with the one at the back of the book. Right. Picture walk done. A few end of chapter question tackled and notebook ready for the next chapter. Right. Okay. Let's dive into the next chapter. Chapter 7. School bags, lockers, and your attentional octopus. Imagine an attentional octopus whose arm stretches from your school bag to your locker at school. Sound odd? Stay with me. Your school bag is probably much smaller than your locker. That's good. You need to carry your school bag around. Ever tried carrying a locker? Don't. But there is a downside to school bags. You can't carry much in them compared to a locker, right? Lockers are often bigger than school bags. They can hold a lot more stuff. There is room to decorate your locker walls and doors. But a locker also has a drawback. It's not nearby. You have to walk down the hall to get to your stuff, right? So this is the locker and this is bag, right? School bag versus lockers. Which one should you use? Why are we talking about school bags and lockers? You guessed it. Yeah, they are metaphors. Your brain stores information like a school bag and a locker. To do this, your brain uses two different systems, working memory and long-term memory. Okay? So your working memory is like your school bag. It's small. It can't hold much. More than that, things can fall out, but it's really handy. It holds whatever you are consciously working on. That's why it is called working memory, right? Your locker is like your long-term memory. It is in the background, down the hallway. You can store a lot more information in the locker than in the school bag. But sometimes there is so much stuff in your locker that it is hard to find what you are looking for. So working memory, introducing your attentional octopus. Let's explore your mental school bag. This is your working memory. Imagine that a friendly little and attentional octopus lives in your mental school bag. The octopus allows you to hold ideas in your mind. Your octopus makes a tiny little electric spark at the end of each of its arm. This helps it to speak to neurons. So your attentional octopus is another metaphor. As we know, metaphors are a great way to learn. Your attentional octopus, that is, your working memory, lives towards the front of your brain. That is in your prefrontal cortex. It's just above your eyes. See? So it is above your eyes here. So prefrontal cortex. So your attentional octopus lives in your mental school bag, that is your working memory. It has 4 arms it can use to hold the information that you are working with. Your attentional octopus helps you to hold the information in working memory. It deals with things you have in mind right now. You might be introduced to 3 people, John, Meg, and Sarah. Your octopus uses its arm to hold these names in mind. Wait, what has her name? Sarah? Or was it Sally? Your octopus's arm can be a little slippery. Information can slip out. That's why we repeat something we want to remember temporarily, like names, Sarah, or phone numbers, or the list of chores your mom just told you to do. You are helping your octopus to hold on, maybe just until you can write it down. In fact, writing things down is one way to help the octopus hold on. Your attentional octopus is different from ordinary octopuses. It's electric, for one thing, and it has only 4 arms, so it can hold only about 4 things at one time. Psychologists talk about 4 slots in working memory, but I think it's a better metaphor to think of octopus arms instead. So here is an example of a mental list: walk dog, clean room, tease brother, do homework. Try to add any more items and you are likely to forget. Your octopus doesn't have enough arms. When you are not focusing on something, the octopus drops the information and dozes off. It's waiting, like so jata hai. It dozes off. Ongne lagta hai. It's waiting for you to wake up and put it to work again. If you are not focusing on something, your attentional octopus drops the information and dozes off, right? So yeah, I think let it be for today. I think it's enough. We'll do it from tomorrow, inshallah, from here. Right? Okay, thank you. Yes. Jazakallah khairah, and thank you very much for joining me. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Please share it with your friends who know English, who are interested in learning how to learn. And please subscribe the channel, and please press the bell icon so that whenever we go live or we just upload a video, you could get the update that it has been uploaded. Thank you. Jazakallah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. God bless you all.